I did some sketches, rather yesterday I did. And I wasn't sure about, of course, looking at the front facade of the building and those windows, I knew this had to be a jewelry store. So psychically that didn't matter.
Right.
Architecturally, oh yeah, that was a jewelry store. That was a no-brainer, right? But I felt that this couple worried about money a lot, and you could see, and they were putting in orders. And sometimes it's like you're getting a mishmash of so many different areas and so many different things. This woman definitely had prominence, and she wore jewelry, but she had money, but they also worried about money. So, and so did he. So I'm not sure if they were with the jewelry part, or if they were like with accounting, or whether they did a lot of different things. I feel like they did more than one thing. I do feel jewelry store all packed in at the front of the building, but towards the back of the building, it's different. Yeah. And these are some more people that I see in here. And I love her. She has a very good nature. She worked in the kitchen, but boy, she was tough. I mean, I'm here. This is my identity. My home life wasn't so great, but this is what I do best. This is where I'm at. And she ran this like a ship, you know. But when I got back there, I got 5 other people aside her. And she came in, I swear, like a whirlwind, like shh, all through that kitchen. So I wouldn't be surprised if things do move just because they carry that kind of energy. And the reason that there's that kind of energy so much like, you know, like a force is because they were so busy back there. Their feet, they did a lot. They were in constant motion. And we have the same energy today that's feeding it. Okay? So that's pretty much it. But not bad spirits, just active spirits. I just want to be what made me happy, what gave me purpose, what gave me respect in life. And I get this older gentleman, okay? And by the way, I did see the sign, so it said it started in 1969, right? This older gentleman seemed to be someone of prominence from this area. He might have had a tie or suit and tie, and he would have sat in the same place, ordered the same thing, said hello to the same people. Maybe he came in with his newspaper, and that's what I get about this older gentleman. And that, you know, also leaves a lot of residual energy, is because you've got people coming in here year after year. I swear they sat at the same table, doing the same thing. So what happens, just like in real life, right? I get stuck, I get caught in a cycle. Well, they're still caught in their cycle. You know, they're still stuck in that. And then I see, I feel this contemporary person. She's got short blonde hair. She seems very contemporary to me. I'm not sure she died and she just comes back here, because I do feel like she worked here. But when she worked here, it's like she might have done more than one thing. Okay, so she might have been in accounting. She might have done some bookkeeping. She might have checked people out. I just kind of get that around. She's got short blonde hair. And she's kind of heavy set, and I feel like she had some kind of pre-existing illness. So maybe she was diabetic, that kind of thing. And I feel like she passed on. Okay. So that's what I got. During this walkthrough is, I came back to an earlier time, so meaning like the lady in Hunts, but maybe even into 1910, because I feel like there's another lady, she's not dressed what you would think of 1800s long skirt. Her skirt is now shorter. Okay, she's now cut her hair into a bob, and she wears a lot of jewelry. So she could have been like 1910, 1920, that kind of thing. So I feel like she's very prominent, and we have a lot of people that are coming in at that time period. As I got to the back of the building, I could see clergy running around. And I don't know whether this might have been an illness or something that hit this area, and where they had a lot of sick people going on. but I get a lot of clergy people going into the back. I also see that there's a lot of people, it's almost like there's a big hallway, so that they're carrying crates of stuff, like goods and stuff. And it's a frenzy. It's this got to be loaded up, this got to get out of here, that kind of thing. So I'm not sure if all that's taking place, and it just feels like they've got to get, I mean, they're using every kind of transportation to get this stuff out of here. So, in a feeling of sickness, death, clergy towards the back of the building.
Towards the back?
The back, right, towards the back of
That's
the
something, okay.
Okay, and when I go next door, it continues on to next door. So, yeah, very, very sick feeling.
Can we comment on what you're saying right now? Oh, wait, that was Rachel tonight.
Yeah.
Rachel,
So,
yeah.
in looking at the picture that I printed about of the Chamber of Commerce, is I got this. So I got this nun figure and this man with the glasses. And he's also very prominent. You can see he's got a bow tie. But it was so funny because not only did I get him, I said, my God, there's all these old men with glasses and bow ties and ties. Who are all these men over there? And then when I went next door, there's a whole wall of photographs of men, old men with glasses and bow ties and ties. And in my notes, I do talk about that I smell smoke. So whether it's cigarette smoke, pipe smoke, but I get smoke, and I wrote that because what I do is while I'm drawing, I also stop and I take notes. And I have to say, I'm only hitting on the stuff that really popped out at me because as you know, even like in downtown Tacoma on Main Street, these buildings have been so many different things. I mean, I could go on for days writing stuff, tuning into stuff, so I'm just kind of generalizing. It's not if I'm talking fast, but this nun, there's also a lot of clergy going up and down, from the front of the street to the back, and there were some doors in the back, okay? And in particular, this nun, okay? And I've seen a little boy upstairs. So we have children who maybe that the nuns looked after. I also get death and illness in the back of that building as well. It's very emotional back there. And of course we have, and also what I seen in the front of the store, I mean it was a store, but I seen it as lots of bottles. And then I said it like, wasn't just, they just didn't sell one particular thing, but they sold a variety of things. And also sort of like what I got at the other place, it's like, really, did they gamble and drink in the back of every building down Main Street? Because I swear they did. So I kind of get a little bit of that going on back in the back of that building as well as at some particular time, and it was almost like, and I also hear a lot of talk about war. And because these buildings are so old, it could be World War I, it could be World War II, it could be both. But it's in the news, it's about war, it could be even more contemporary war, and war is big, it's being discussed, it's in the newspaper, and I see a lot of gentlemen smoking, drinking, and talking about war. And I feel this anxiety as though my son's going to war, you know. And the people that I know, their sons are going to war. And I see men that are going by train to go to war.
That's next door.
Yes, next door. Okay.
Next door, because that's where the men, and and I also feel that there were workers here, and I said there's also more importance. I know we're living off of a river, but there's also an importance about railway here. So I don't know the history of Iberia, but that's also an importance, and I almost feel like it's been forgotten. Like somehow railway was very important here as well. So I think that's a quick synopsis of what I got with the whole building. You're talking about Belgium, you might want to put her upstairs. There's a little boy running around up there next door. Yeah, a little blonde.
I felt something, I mean, there was something in here when we came, because one of the quite well she did. Somebody wants to play the camera, I think. But I will say that what she's saying, she hit a lot of that is dead on. I don't know about the pictures as much, but like that, what she's saying is so true as to, we feel like that there was a lady that worked here for years, and she was very in charge of things. And we've got a ton of activity back there in that kitchen, and especially back on the bathroom.
It's by those, they've already starting to hear something.
Yeah.
They've already.
That back area by the
Yeah.
bathrooms, every time we've come here, it started back there. But in the kitchen, we got the activity of busyness and everything. We had the pan fall. We had things going off in here the night we came. Next door, same thing, up in the top area. And then, did you get anything in the conference room? Did you feel anything in there? That's the big room.
That's where all the men were, and you might smell the cigarette smoke and just hear talking.
Yeah.
Just hear talking.
So they had a lot of activity in that part that night too. So,
Can I comment about the war? I don't know if this means anything, but my father-in-law started Victor's Cafeteria in 1969. This building was built in
97 of them.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have to go see the sign, okay. But my father-in-law fought in World War II, he was a Marine. And one night, he and his friends got all liquored up, and they all made a pact that they would meet the next morning and take the train to New Orleans and become Marines. Well, don't you know, out of all those friends, my father-in-law was the only one who showed up. And he took the train to New Orleans to be a Marine. And in the front is his actual suit, his coat, is his duffel bag throughout World War II. That's his duffel bag in the front. So I'm just letting you know, that's, when you said the war, that's really important. And it was a big part of his life.
Wow.
In fact, he was shot on Hiroshima.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, do we have any questions? Yes?
Will we be able to stay in here? We know that of someone that frequented this place probably a few times a week. Would you be able to use their name in?
Oh, absolutely. I know a lot of you are from the New Iberia, and I'm sure a lot of you know people that ate here or worked over here or whatever. Absolutely. Use the names. When our thing for you guys is that we want you to be the ghost hunters. You know, we do this all the time. So we're here to guide you, and we're here to show you how to use the stuff. And we'll even start asking questions at first, so you'll kind of know what to do. But, I mean, the ultimate goal is for you guys to have fun and for you guys to be the ghost hunters. So, you know, the only thing I would say is when you do ask a question, give it a little bit of a few, 30 seconds before you ask the next question. Because sometimes it takes them a while to answer that question. So, absolutely, if you know a name, wherever you are, use it. If you know somebody that was associated with the museum, use the name, for sure.
Did anyone recognize the people? I don't know a blonde. Of course,
She could have been associated with the
I
jewelry
wish
store.
Victor would come here
Yeah.
at some point. But the black lady, you said there was a black lady that was very much in charge. I believe I know who that is. Her name is Nellie Q. And she died of stomach cancer. And she was a very tall woman.
Yes.
And a very take charge, but a very nice woman. But she was the boss in that kitchen.
All right.
There's another name?
Definitely.
All right. Well, happy hunting, guys.
Thank you so much for your info there. All right. Everybody ready for the